हेलो एवरीवन, आई एम योर होस्ट टुडे शिखर नेहरू। और आज मेरे साथ हैं सत्येंद्र पंडित। क्विकली उनके बारे में मैं एक इंट्रो दे देता हूँ। ही वाज बोर्न इन जमशेदपुर, कम्स फ्रॉम अ हम्बल बैकग्राउंड। कोलकाता में इन्होंने अपनी स्कूलिंग करी। इनके फादर इज अ सर्विसमैन एंड ही हैज गॉट 3 siblings. um, 2000 Satyendra, 2014, yeah, 2015, which was the year that you joined NFA?
So I think it was towards the end of 2014 when I
Okay.
first went to SSB, and post that I think I got in touch with Colonel Nehru, and formally I think I started in 2015.
Acha. So 2015, Satyendra joined No Frills Academy, और 2014 से 17 तक he was almost actively giving SSB attempts. Is that correct, Satya?
Yeah, I think.
Okay, that's good. And
Yeah, I tried till 2017, and then Colonel Nehru told me just you don't need to attempt.
Okay, I
Move
see.
to other. Yeah.
right. Yeah. And so I want to mention here that 2014 to 2017, Satya actively took SSB attempts. Also, I'm sure he wrote the preparatory and the entrance exams like CDS and AFCAT, and you had reasonable success in those.
Yeah, so I think I cracked NDA 4 times back to back, and then 3 times CDS and 2 times AFCAT. So the written exam that I wrote, I think I succeeded in all of them. So
Okay, so 2017 is when Colonel Nehru suggested that you should stop taking more attempts and focus on your professional or corporate career. Is that correct?
yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So currently, Satya is with Adidas. He's the engineering manager there. From the looks of it, Satya, you're doing pretty well for yourself now, and I see that you're sporting the Adidas Italia shirt also, which is looking very nice on you.
Yeah, thank you.
So, Satya, because you've given me a brief background for the viewers, I'll quickly run them through आपका जो journey रही है अभी तक. So 2017 में when Satya decided कि और SSB नहीं देने, he got an offer from TechM. 2017 में, this was in Pune.
Yeah, this was in Pune.
Okay, so he joined Tech Mahindra in April 2017. Then in 2019, he came and joined No Frills Sport Tech, which is the sports division of the No Frills umbrella, which Satya and I started. And I think just when COVID started, you decided to step aside, right? So, and then he joined. Which company did you join after that, Satya?
It was Larsen and Toubro Infotech. So basically, I joined their product division called Phosphor. So they acquired a company, and I was part of that. And then they made it a product entity under the LTI umbrella. And so we were. I was basically a software engineer over there, and spent around 3 years.
So professionally, you were a software developer.
That's correct.
Yeah, professionally. Yeah.
And over the years, you have graduated to a more managerial position within the same development space.
Yeah.
So currently with Adidas for about a year now.
Is that correct?
Yeah. So on 15th May only, I completed 1 year in Adidas.
Nice.
So
Congratulations.
first anniversary, we call it anniversary over here. So first anniversary out of 75 has already been completed.
And your main roles with Adidas is related to their tech products that assist them in like trading and decision making. Just give a little bit more into that.
Yeah. So in Adidas, basically, I'm acting as an engineering manager, mainly looking around global trading. So in global trading, what we do is that we build a product for our internal stakeholders, which is the business and the market people. So let's say you have one product called Samba. It's a pretty good shoe, and you wanted to sell it in multiple countries. Now, what would be the right price for that particular product, and how much discount can be given? Like how much markdown can be? You can calculate the markdown. So what we do is that we recommend that, okay, if you are going without the markdown, then this much money you can lose in a particular market. If you are going through a recommendation, this much sales uplift can happen. So it's having a very direct impact on the revenue numbers. So this is a pretty, I think, important area where I'm leading that. Apart from that, I'm also building a capability around the decision intelligence. It's a fairly, a new area. You can say a subset of artificial intelligence, where we make our executive and business users to take the right decision based on the data. This decision is more like a very automated way, where sophisticated AI algorithms that we try to uh, take into consideration. And before I think Adidas, I spent 3 years in building such kind of a tool, which was called a Lumin in Phosphor. So I think because of that, the leadership in Adidas saw some kind of potential in me, and they decided to hand over this entire capability to build from scratch for the global market. So it is not for India, not for Harjo. It's more like for entire world.
इंटरेस्टिंग. आप एडिडास का नाम सुनते हो तो आप सोचते हो कि कपड़े बनाते हैं और शिपिंग करते हैं, तो टेक्नोलॉजी कहाँ से? बट टेक्नोलॉजी हर जगह आ गई है, इतना इम्पोर्टेंट हो गया है. All decision making is based on numbers, data, projections. So yeah, and all these big companies are investing heavily in tech.
Yeah, I think these days, like if I predict, if I'm allowed to predict, then without technology, no company can survive. If they are going through traditional way, definitely sooner or later they are going to die. But the perception what I was also having, that Adidas is a shoe making company or a sports company, just ये कपड़े बनाते हैं, मैं करूँगा क्या? So it was a big question, but I tried to do some experimentation with my career, and I took a bold risk. But when I came over here, I saw a very different one. So thousands of people across the world is working on building sophisticated technology which can enable consumer like you and me to buy right product at right price point. So I think tech is everywhere, and because of tech, we are also talking. You are sitting in
Absolutely.
Canada.
Yeah, you're sitting in New Delhi, so absolutely.
अच्छा, I'll take a step back. Going back to your experience with NFA, थोड़ा सा give me some hint, some idea or like a summary कि आपका NFA में कैसा experience रहा था back in 2015 onwards.
Okay, so how I think I'll take a minute to explain this. So I gave my second attempt, second SSB for Air Force, and it was through ND entry back in 2014. And somehow I did not succeed over there. I was confident though at that point of time, and there are multiple reasons also which I later come to know that why I did not. So I was basically running. I went for a run in park, and then I was reading a blog on Quora, and somehow Colonel Nehru wrote some blog on some politics, and then I thought that okay, and then I further went deeper into his profile, and then I saw that he is also doing some kind of a personality development like aspirants like me. So पैसे वैसे तो उस समय होते नहीं थे कि because we were not earning. So what I did is that like I was a bit courageous in doing so. So I wrote a formal mail to Colonel Nehru that hey, this is the condition that I'm having, and I think I might be a very good addition, and I have the potential to crack these exams. So if you can guide me somehow, because I don't have such monetary, पैसे वैसे तो है नहीं, तो करेंगे क्या? And the fees was quite high at that point of a time also. So he just wrote I think one line that you can call me at this point, like कुछ उन्होंने टाइम बताया था 4 या 5 बजे के आसपास, एंड देन आई कॉल्ड हिम एंड देन ही टोल्ड कि आप एक बार मेरे से ऐसे फॉर्मली बात कर लो थ्रू अ वीडियो कॉल, एंड देन आई डिड. So it was more like a luck how I got to meet Colonel Nehru. And when I met, I think a lot of good thing basically happened in my career. So he's more like right now, if I see, I don't see him as a mentor. It's more like a father figure for me. So every time I get in any kind of a problem, like uh, few months back, uh, after 4 years or 5 years, I called him and he was busy somehow, and he immediately after 10 minutes called me that, hey Satya, आपका call आया था, what is happening, आप कहाँ पे disappear हो गए. So it was so touching. So from 2015 or 16, I think a lot of good thing happened, and most of the credit definitely goes to Colonel Nehru and the NFA. What I got to know, like this might be a biggest question to aspirants also, because I'm not in the forces. I don't have any biases to tell. I'm doing pretty well in corporate world, but four things he always, even today also he tells me: focus on your communication skills, focus what is happening around you, that is more like a general knowledge, global politics, your economics, finance and all. So what is happening around you, that's the important thing. And the third one is the mental fitness plus the physical fitness. If these two things are taken care, then you can excel everywhere. And the uh, fourth or fifth point was definitely related to your whatever you are doing, try to give 200% into that. So try to be proficient. So I am following that four points till date, and I think I'm going to, because this is very practical. He don't talk any bullshit.
No Frills Academy. So no frills. No, I think you've hit some very interesting points there. And just for the viewers, I would like to, and you can help me again. So, fitness, economic knowledge, understanding about finances and what the economy is doing, giving your 100%, 200% in whatever you're doing. And what was the fourth thing?
The fourth one, definitely your mental fitness and your physical fitness. So आप यदि let's say कि 6-7 मिनट में आप 1 माइल दौड़ नहीं सकते, तो definitely you are not fit. So it is.
And in terms of mental fitness also, that you keep reading, keep gaining knowledge as you progress.
Exactly. So like how you are surrounding yourself with the people. So there are different kind of people that can influence your mental health. Like कुछ लोग काफी toxic होते हैं, कुछ लोग काफी mediocre होते हैं, और कुछ लोग काफी अच्छे होते हैं. Like so you need to have a balance so that you can have the different perspective from the different people, but at the same time you don't lose your originality. So how you come to know if you don't have any circle? So I think these are the 4 points which helped me a lot.
I want to mention here for our viewers also कि No Frills Academy और Colonel Nehru का जो guidance methodology है, it is holistic development of an individual. It is developing their personality, and SSB is a subset of it, or the getting recommended in SSB or joining the forces is coincidental. And I think Satya, you are a perfect example. We've seen your growth path. Came from a humble background, started working with Tech Mahindra after you quit. That itself was, I think it was a good start also. But the progression has also been fabulous, and I want to congratulate you for that. And I think Colonel Nehru and No Frills Academy should be proud to see the growth that you have had. And thank you for giving credit to No Frills Academy also where it's due. It is my pleasure to talk to you, and I have to mention to our viewers also कि Satya No Frills Academy 10 साल हो गए हैं almost. 10 साल से थोड़ा ज़्यादा ही हो जाएंगे I think. but initial times में Satya has been a very intrinsic part of No Frills Academy. अगर आपने practical guide पढ़ी है तो उसमें सत्या का नाम credits में भी है, and I'm sure Col Nehru has very high regards for Satya, and we have worked together like we mentioned earlier. So we traveled together. हम लोग एक लखनऊ में हम लोग गए थे, वहाँ पे हम लोग ऑफिसर्स मेस में ठहरे थे, वहाँ पे वी स्पोक टू सम ऑफिसर्स आल्सो. एंड सत्या, यू वांट टू मेंशन कि क्या हमारा एक्सपीरियंस रहा था एक ऑफिसर के साथ वहाँ पे?
Yeah, so like I was quite lucky. Like I think the story started. So ऐसे मैं बताता हूँ. So in 2017, when I started working with Tech Mahindra, uh, there was a I think bond period was 2 years, and somehow I was already in touch with Colonel Nehru, and Sikhar was thinking to start No Frills Sports. That's we named it later NF Sportage.
Yeah.
So he was in constant touch with me when I was working with her Tech Mahindra in Pune. And one fine day, I think we had a discussion that, hey, this is something I'm looking. Would you like to join? And it gives me kind of a stress. I was not pretty happy with my job. I was kind of a civil developer, not doing it was a pretty old technology, 90s. So I wanted to move into different one, and then Sikar came. So I quit. Uh,
2019 आई थिंक अप्रैल के करीब, अप्रैल मई के टाइम.
हाँ, आई थिंक 1 साल 3 महीने हो गए थे. एंड देन हम ये डिस्कस कर रहे थे कि वो मुझे सू करेंगे. आई नीड टू पे द मनी. तो ये हमारे दिमाग में चल रहा था. बट एनी हाउ सीकर वॉज इन कैनेडा, एंड ही इन्वाइटेड मी टू मेरठ, एंड मैं ट्रैवल किया. देन आफ्टर दैट वी वर फिगरिंग आउट कि करना क्या है हमें. हम तो आ गए, 2 ही लोग हैं, करना क्या है. सो आई वाज आल्सो पेस्ट कि अरे ये इसने तो कुछ प्लान बनाया नहीं है और मुझे इसने बुला लिया. बट लेटर वी स्टार्टेड, एंड देन वी गॉट one opportunity. I think UP conclave, startup
Yes.
conclave was there, and then randomly we applied that, okay, let's see what is happening over there, let's pitch our idea, and then we traveled to Lucknow. So in this way, basically, we reached to Lucknow, and luckily we were staying opposite to army commander over there. So it was Lucknow Cant officers mess. So हम I think अपना lunch और dinner officers mess में ही करते थे. So there we got to breakfast. Got to meet a young captain who was quite passionate like me in the beginning, and he joined armed forces. He was, I think, a good football player. I think he mentioned that. And then he spent, I think, a couple of years in the army, and he was so demotivated, if I am allowed to say so. And then he was thinking how he can quit. So it was both, eye opener for both of us. And then I decided, oh, ये तो अब नहीं करना है. This is already done. I am not going to come. So it's more like, a cover, a sale, where he was acting, and he was not happy with that. So I think that was also.
But I think we should give a disclaimer to the viewers here. Joining the forces is not a bad thing, it's a great thing. It's not for everybody, and again, the reason why we are here is to draw the point home कि it is not the end of the world. अगर आपने forces नहीं join करी है, maybe it is not for you, you know. So the whole idea is, and especially with No Frills Academy, is to develop yourself as an individual. उसके बाद, you're ready for life. Whether it is defense forces, whether it's corporate, you want to do your own business, आपको जाके गाने लिखने हैं, it could be anything. It's just about developing or getting the most out of your potential.
Yeah, so one thing I also want to mention. So if you go and enroll into Colonel Nehru's guidance, first thing he mentions, I think to everybody, that don't think about SSB. It's just your day-to-day life. Work on that, and if the fourth thing that I mentioned, if it is already improved, the chances of getting selected or get recommended is quite high. So
Yeah.
it doesn't require any special preparation. So, but again, it depends on individual that where he want to go. Like, see, Shikhar is also a son of Colonel Nehru, and I think you did not give any attempt.
No.
And
The closest I went was एक reality show था जो जिसके trials हो रहे थे. It was called Mission Army, देश के रक्षक. तो उसमें उसमें मैंने वो दिया था. आई ऑडिशन फॉर इट फ्रॉम दिल्ली, और उसमें मैं एक्चुअली सेलेक्ट भी हो गया था. मेडिकली मैं रिजेक्ट हो गया था. तो वो मेरा क्लोजेस्ट एक्सपीरियंस था एसएसबी से रिलेटेड. नॉट एग्जैक्टली एसएसबी, लेकिन फिर वही बात है कि क्योंकि मैंने आर्मी लाइफ बहुत क्लोजली देखी थी, तो मुझे लगता था कि वो जो चार्म होता है बाहर से, वो मेरे लिए नहीं था, क्योंकि मैंने अंदर से देख लिया था. हाँ, फौज आज की डेट में इज अ ग्रेट करियर ऑप्शन. इंडिया में जॉब्स आसान नहीं है आजकल. मैं भी कनाडा आ गया हूँ क्योंकि इंडिया में मुझे अपॉर्चुनिटी नहीं मिली. तो लेकिन आई थिंक इंडियन आर्मी इज अ वेरी रिस्पेक्टेबल पोजीशन, और इट्स वेल पेइंग ऑल्सो. सो मतलब ऑफ कोर्स most of us, and I think we should be, patriotic to the country and join the forces, but as a pure professional decision also to join the forces is actually pretty good.
yeah, I think forces is definitely a great career option for Indian youth. So I don't see any deviation in the thought that एक बार तो आप attempt जरूर दो. If you are not good in maybe uh, cracking UPSC exams, then better to go for a direct entry if you are an engineer, and then just try it. There is no harm in trying, multiple things, and then you come to know that okay, what is the best career option you can take, and that's I also did trial and experiment, and then somehow I think right now I think that was the best decision I took.
So Satya, Colonel Nehru does this series called SSB Doubt Clearance Session. तो मैंने सोचा उस पर थोड़ा सा एक अपना स्पिन देते हैं, एंड लेट्स कॉल इट कॉर्पोरेट डाउट क्लियरिंग सेशन. एंड सी, लाइक आई वांट टू ओपन इट अप टू यू एंड आस्क कि अगर कॉर्पोरेट लाइफ में आप 7-8 साल का आपको एक्सपीरियंस है, कोई ऐसी सिचुएशन आपको लगता हो जो जहाँ आप फंसे हो, या आपको लगता है कि पता नहीं मुझे कैसे करना चाहिए था, व्हाट इज द राइट वे टू गो अबाउट इट, मे बी योर करियर प्रोग्रेशन, या handling handling people, dealing with issues. So I want to open the mic to you, and let's see what the issue is, and maybe we can discuss, and we can open up to our viewers, listeners also. अगर उनके पास कोई advice है to give both of us, maybe they have the experience and they've solved that problem. So over to you.
I think this is a pretty good question and the very subjective one. So I think
Yes.
it depends on individual to individual that how they are, taking the challenges and how he is coming out, or he or she is coming out from that. So I think for me, I don't have any regrets being in the corporate, but every day I think I get a different kind of problems. It's related to people, it's related to developers, code, delivery, and the overall management also. So recently, I'll give an example like this week only. So uh, we were talking about rolling out some feature to US and European market, and we don't have any QA person. So QA is basically stands for quality tester. So whenever you develop any a large piece of software or a code, it needs to go through some regression, some QA testing, and then it goes for the final user acceptance testing. So we don't have the QA. We don't have budget also to hire at this moment, because how typical organization works. Every department division is allocated with some funds. You
सबका
need
budget
to
है.
utilize सबका budget है. So I was discussing with my director कि करना क्या है, and both are like finding out the solution. So we opened it for a larger audience where we can include developers to go for system integrated testing. And trust me, no one was interested. They were like, this is not our job, I shall do. So ये सब tantrum था, and it is fairly good also कि चलो उनको पता है कि उनको करना क्या है, but for people like us it becomes very difficult
stuck.
to एक तो stuck, I'm stuck, तो करना क्या है, and then we go for multiple sessions to arrange formalize, so we went कि चलो हम भी अब टेस्ट करेंगे. So in this way, basically, we took it kind of a challenge in a very positive way. So I think the key message that I want to give over here is it's all about your attitude and your mentality. How you like एक छोटी प्रॉब्लम हो सकती है, आप उस पे दो तरीके से रिएक्ट कर सकते हो. Either you can react like in a negative way, or you can take it as a challenge and try to solve it in a positive way. So it depends on in what mental state you are. So that's why I told mental stability is very important. Try to be a very rational person or a reasonable person. Don't try to go with emotions. Sometimes emotions are good, but most of the time it harms you in many different ways.
So for me to understand, so Jo, how you solved that problem was because you couldn't find a specific QA और आपके पास बजट नहीं था नया हायर करने के लिए, तो विद इन द टीम आपने वो काम डिवाइड कर दिया कि कुछ पोर्शन एक बंदा करेगा, something like that. Is that what you did?
So initially, like nobody was interested. So what I did is that here I saw the opportunity that how you can lead by example. So this is definitely not my role, not my job. But again, if it is not happening, then I am failing as a leader. So what I did is that okay, to make the everybody comfortable on the same page, I decided that okay, I'll be going for testing, and I would be the part of the tester pool. So that
Okay.
few developers also got motivated that hey, if Satya is doing his first line is doing, then what is harm for us? So I think
Okay.
if you are leading with example,
Leading with example.
then
Okay.
most of the people will try to relate. So that's why I
Okay.
think around yourself, try to be a bit humorous, try to relate with the people, and try to be humble and
Yeah.
kind. Most of the people will love to interact with you.
Okay.
I want to open it up to the viewers कि अगर वो सत्या की सिचुएशन में होते कि डायरेक्टर और सत्या QA नहीं ढूंढ पा रहे and work needs to be done, you don't have budget to hire anyone, आप क्या करते हैं? I think to me personally it's a problem that I've had over a long period कि मैं दूसरे का काम भी ले लेता हूँ और फिर मेरे पास इतना काम हो जाता है कि मैं अपना ही काम पूरा ठीक से नहीं कर पाता हूँ. So let's see what viewers have to say, but it's definitely leading by example is certainly I think it's infectious क्योंकि कोई दूसरा देखता है तो उसे भी लगता है यार अगर वो कर रहा है तो मैं क्यों नहीं. और अगर इंडिया में ये भी मेंटालिटी है ना कि अगर सत्या कर रहा है और मैं नहीं कर रहा तो फिर मेरे नंबर कट जाएंगे. Right?
Have a bad impact on the performance number.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you were right. In every typical organization, whether if you go for a defense forces or corporate, the most important element is the people, and it is your ability,
100%.
like how you are dealing with them, how you are resolving the conflict. And if you are good into that, nobody is perfect. Every day, I have n number of negative thoughts that hey, this is not going good, both at the personal front, at workplaces. But
Yeah.
you need to find somehow balance somewhere.
Correct.
Okay, that was interesting. Thank you, Satya. And it was a good way to solve the problem by leading by example. So congratulations on that. Satya, it was a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you very much for coming, speaking with me, and for the benefit of the viewers here. I wish you all the best. You're looking dashing in your Adidas jersey, and I hope to see you more often. Thank you. Take care.
Yeah, thank you. And the pleasure is all mine to inviting in front of this large audience. And thank you, Shikha. And hopefully I'll see you soon.